Welcome to another episode of Dialogue Diaries, where we go beyond the headlines and explore transformative ideas that shape our future. I'm your host, Vikas Kanungo, and the discussion we are having today is both informative as well as timely. We would be diving deep into MahaAgri AI Policy, which has made Maharashtra the first state in India and perhaps in South Asia to have a dedicated policy for AI in agriculture. We would have this conversation today with Shri Vikas Rastogi, who's the Principal Secretary Agriculture for Government of Maharashtra. As the Chief Officer who is not only the architect of this policy but also entrusted with implementing the policy, he brings not only the administrative leadership but also a foresight into how this technology can be used for transforming agriculture in the state. Welcome to the show, sir. So, as I was saying, this policy is the first of its kind in the entire country and perhaps entire South Asia, based upon my knowledge, where there is a dedicated policy for using artificial intelligence, blockchain and emerging technologies for transforming agriculture. As the person who has been behind this vision and would also be implementing it, I would like to ask you, what was your inspiration for coming out with this policy? What challenges do you think you're trying to solve with this policy document, and where do you see the farmers of the state by 2029 as a result of this implementation?
Good afternoon. It's really a pleasure to talk to you, Vikas, today. You are correct, the Maharashtra Agri AI Policy 25-29 is indeed an ambitious undertaking aiming to revolutionize Maharashtra's agriculture landscape through artificial intelligence and emerging technologies. The inspiration behind launching this policy stems from the fact that agriculture plays in Maharashtra's economy a very vital role. It contributes significantly to the gross state value added and providing livelihood to almost half of the state's population. Despite this, the sector has faced a lot of challenges. Some of them include low productivity, climate variability, water stress, input costs have been rising, labor shortages, and top it all, market inefficiency. So the overarching vision for the state's policy is to position Maharashtra as a national leader in AI-driven agriculture. It aims to foster sustainable growth, enhancing productivity, resilience, and farmer income through technology-driven and farmer-centric interventions. The policy seeks to produce replicable models aligning with the Viksit Bharat Act 2047 and makes a substantial contribution to the sustainable development goal, including no hunger, etc., and ultimately leads to economic transformation of the farmers in the state. The policy also aims to transform Maharashtra into a $1 trillion economy while contributing to SDGs through food security, climate action, and inclusive rural development.
That's in fact a very comprehensive view of the policy. Now, let's try to understand each of the pillars of the policy. You've mentioned about setting up an AI and Agri-Tech Innovation Center, which will not only have its headquarters in Mumbai, but also extension at the agricultural universities as well as the rural centers. Can you please tell us how this center would be governed, what kind of work it will be doing, and how this will collaborate or communicate with various departments of the government as well as other stakeholders such as industry, startups, academic institutions, etc.?
So the Artificial Intelligence and Agri-Tech Innovation Center will serve as a full-time dedicated program management and innovation delivery unit for the policy. It will actually be at the heart and soul of the policy to implement it. It will be an operational backbone responsible for day-to-day operation, interdepartmental coordination, stakeholder engagement, innovation facilitation and performance monitoring. The core of its mandate is to translate policy priority into actionable programs. As you know, the policy is really transformative. So the center will actually ensure that it results into actionable programs, projects and partnership. This will also be acting as a full-time secretariat to state level technical committee, SLTC, assisting with the project design, documentation, evaluation and eventually policy feedback as well. The center will include domain experts and functional specialists. In terms of its roles in executing the policy, it will be responsible for identifying the projects, it will work in the secretarial functions, it will manage the program and coordination, technical and project support. It will also provide sandbox and infrastructure management. As you know, edX is an important part of the pillar of the policy. It will also ensure that capacity building and farmer engagement is actually taken to everybody. It will help in monitoring, evaluation and learning, evolving the policy as we implement it, and lots of partnership, resource mobilization, eventually leading to a global AI in agriculture conference. So this center will be complemented by a comprehensive state-wide research and innovation ecosystem. So we don't want only the center to be there, but the state universities will also have their innovation labs, research labs, and they will together will work as a hub for designing, developing and deploying Gen AI and emerging technology solutions for agriculture, eventually addressing both research challenges and real-world implementation gaps. The collaboration with agriculture and allied department will be fostered through various mechanisms. This will ensure the gap between innovation and field level impact is bridged and ensure that AI solutions are deployed collaboratively, validated effectively and ultimately reach to the farming community for their overall benefit.
That sounds like a very strong push for innovation. Now, one of the key things for anything AI is data. It's also called the fuel for artificial intelligence. And you have rightly included development of a statewide data exchange and a sandboxing environment in the policy document. Could you please tell us what kind of data sets would be there in the sandbox ADEX? What would the sandboxing environment do? How will it help startups basically testing their solutions and scaling those up at the statewide basis? If you could provide us some more inputs on that.
I think you are absolutely right. ADEX is one of the most critical aspects of the policy. It plays a central role in data and establishment of an sandbox environment. And as you rightly said, data is indeed the fuel for AI. So recognizing this, ADEX is envisioned as a state-of-the-art federated and consent-based platform. Its primary function is to facilitate the secure and interoperable flow of agriculture data sets across various stakeholders. These could be farmer producer organizations, these could be companies, various departments and other stakeholders. ADEX will also serve as the backbone for the digital public infrastructure DPI in agriculture, offering discoverable metadata, standardized APIs, consent-driven access protocol and a robust governance aligned with the state and national data governance policy like DPDP Act, etc. The platform itself will not store the data. It will be basically functioning as a dynamic catalog of resources. And regarding the kind of data set ADEX will encompass, as you rightly pointed out, it will have a wide range of information, both public as well as private data sets. These could be farmer registries like AgriStack, we have 3 registries, crop statistics, weather conditions, soil health, dynamic crop condition as the crop is growing, disease and pest infestation, market arrivals, prices, go down availability, soil health will be very important data, warehouses data, the loan including KCC, Kisan Credit Card data and the university's research data. So everything will be available, discoverable and based on the consent this could be shared. There are lots of private data that also could be hosted through this ADEX. It could be export data, warehouses data, field trials, lot of field trials are carried out by private players, satellite data, logistics, supply chain, input supplies like fertilizer, seeds, etc., farm machinery, and also various agri-tech platform can also share their data. So ultimately it will be an open source modular architecture, we can build upon it, and it will promote developer accessibility, traceability, and farmer data ownership. So that I think is the core of the edX. Let's come to sandbox. The sandbox environment will complement edX. So data will be in edX, and sandbox will be a kind of tool for the startups and research organizations to play around in that environment. It's a secured environment where they can visualize a test bed, and where innovators can actually experiment safely with AI models in the real world like scenario. So the data that will be given will be a test data, will not be the real data, but that will allow a simulation of real world conditions for the controlled experimentation and validation of their Gen AI and emerging technology models, ultimately resulting to decision support tools and precision agriculture solution before they actually deploy it. So sandbox users will be able to access anonymized, as I said, synthetic data set, leverage test APIs, and iterate their solution using a plug and play architecture and field conditions. So together edX and sandbox will create an enabling foundation for the policy in building an ethical, scalable, and locally adaptable AI, Gen AI, and emerging technology solutions for agriculture.
Indeed, having a rich data set as you just described through the edX could be a game changer. Now, in addition to this data, the policy also talks about a GIS engine to be created as a separate DPG. As I understand, Maharashtra already have MahaAgri program which uses remote sensing and GIS. Can you please tell us how this GIS DPG, which is being promoted to be implemented under the policy, would be adding value to the existing GIS infrastructure do you have, and what kind of linkages we can expect with the non-spatial data through this GIS engine?
So you are right. In a state as big as Maharashtra, I think remote sensing will play a very, very important part, because there is a limit to what IoTs can do and to what scale they could be deployed. But remote sensing offers a very, very promising future for agriculture in Maharashtra. And we have had MahaAgri program, we had MahaAgri Tech for last 6 to 7 years. So the learnings from that have actually been reflected in the policy, and the idea is to enhance these capabilities by deploying a unified and AI-enabled remote sensing and geospatial intelligence engine as a shared digital public good. So the AI-enabled engine will bring several new capabilities, what we already had, and enhance decision making. Some of these could be like dynamic crop acreage estimation and yield forecasting, really important for decision support. Drought and flood vulnerability mapping, again helping our farmers. Water body and irrigation asset tracking, which will help in prioritizing various kind of initiative. Soil moisture and vegetation index monitoring, which will help in giving better advisories, and compliance monitoring. So these algorithms will be at the core of the system, AI and ML algorithms, enabling capabilities like change detection, anomaly spotting, how the crops are different from a long-term perspective, and predictive analytics, which will help in giving advisories to the farmers. This also means the farmers can indeed expect early warnings and for the risk that may arise out of pest and other climate risks, and this will provide high resolution insight. We are planning up to the farm level, and it will give advisory on land use, crop health, water availability, soil moisture, and disaster risk. The system will also be a modular, API enabled, and aligned with the national and state platforms such as MahaVed, Fasal, Bhuvan, which is NRSC's platform, ensuring seamless integration data flow between these platforms. and output dashboard will be made accessible to field level officials. Eventually, that will empower them to reach out to the farmers, and their verification will act as a feedback to the system, ultimately improving its efficacy. So, by providing real time and precise data driven insights, this AI driven spatial geospatial system will eventually enhance decision making on the farm for the farmers, empowering farmers to adapt to climate variability and optimize resource utilization, and also to the government for various kind of decision making.
Absolutely, the better predictions both using spatial and non-spatial data can be a game changer in providing services to the farmers. Now, another very interesting thing I saw in the policy is an initiative called Vistar, where you're trying to use generative AI in Marathi language to provide advisories to the services in their local language. That seems very cutting edge, because not many states I know of have been able to use a localized data sets, highly curated through the scientific advisors, to provide these kinds of services. So, I would like to know, where do you see the use of Vistar chatbot going for the farmers? Will it only provide the advisories to the farmers, or in future would it also be able to do predictive analysis and give advice based upon additional data sets which might be available through ADEX or your spatial engine?
So, as you rightly given the long form of Vistar, I should also say that Vistar actually in Marathi means extension, and we think digital extension services will help us in reaching out to more than 17 million farmers of Maharashtra. Now, Vistar is an AI powered multimodal advisory services system in local language, that is Marathi. It involves deploying chatbots, voice assistant and vernacular content generator. These tools deliver personalized advice on a wide range of topics, which includes crop production, disease and pest management, market trends, government schemes. So, at one single click, the farmer can access these services and information, and also advices. This will directly address the question that you asked, what it is going to do. Now, let me go in a little detail. It deploys interactive modules that enable farmers to simulate various farming scenarios. So, a farmer can ask, like, if I deploy plant this kind of crop, what kind of yield can I expect, what will be the market scenarios. So, in a decision making, it will be a really important role for the farmers. It will also help in risk mitigation and input optimization, because the soil health data and the weather data is available. So, AI tools will allow farmers to simulate crop scenarios before they make decisions, and thus reduce risks to them. In practice, Vistar will work by integrating various existing digital public infrastructure DPI. It also aligns with the national platform like AgriStack, which has the data of farmers, the farm fields, and so also the crop they are growing. The language translation tool will help that irrespective of which language the information is available, farmers can access it in Marathi. And the advisories and simulation tool draw upon credible data sets like the research output by various universities, and ultimately in an easy to understand language by the farmers. The Vistar also complements traditional extension services by providing timely, personalized and actionable advisory. These are not generic advisories, these are basically related to the farmer, its own crop and the land. It also helps capacity building and training for frontline extension worker, because this gives them all the information in a single device. And it also helps in collaborative content development. Based on the feedback, we continuously improve our models. So, ultimately by operationalizing the Vistar initiative, Maharashtra aims to enhance the reach and effectiveness of extension services and foster a more resilient and informed farming community. I am happy to inform you that Vistar has actually been launched in Maharashtra. More than 50,000 farmers are using these services, and we are continuously striving to make it more useful for the farmers, bring in more data sets, and eventually become a really useful tool for the farming communities.
This is really fascinating. AI generated advice in the local language. I think this is really cutting edge for the farmers here. Now, I saw another very interesting thing. Not many people have done something on this at a statewide level. You're talking about creating a DPI around the food traceability systems, which I think looks like a very impressive step to not only ensure that the right kind of food goes from the farmers to the table, but could also help the farmers of the states in exporting their goods. So, I would like to know, what is your vision behind conceiving a statewide DPI on traceability, and how are you going to go about implementing it?
So, as I had said earlier, Maharashtra is a leading horticulture export state. Now, to really utilize the full potential, what we need to ensure is an agri-food traceability and quality certification platform, so that more and more farmer can access it and access the markets globally. So, this particular tool has been designed to ensure food safety, supply chain transparency, and access to global markets. Now, for crops like grapes or pomegranate, which Maharashtra is renowned for, this platform will function as an end-to-end tracking system from farm to fork, as you say, and it will leverage cutting-edge technology like AI, blockchain, QR code, etc. Now, this platform that we are thinking will act as a digitized record keeping. So, the entire chain of production as well as the entire supply chain will be recorded through the system, and it will be a digital and geotagged record keeping system. So, the kind of inputs farmer using, fertilizer, pesticide, the cultivation practices, the harvest data, the post harvest handling, quality certification records through QR code generation or AI driven anomaly detection, they will all be part of this platform. And it will be a DPI, so that other partners can latch onto the platform and provide the various kind of solutions to the farmers. So, initially this platform we are thinking will be launched for export oriented and high value crops like grapes, pomegranate, banana, mango, etc. and also a lot of specialty rice which Maharashtra is known for. Eventually we will extend it to more crops and geographies, and integration will be enabled through FPOs. Maharashtra has more than 10,000 FPOs supporting more than millions of farmers. There will also be exporters and pack houses, certification agencies, logistics provider, they will all be part and parcel of this platform, and they will be using its services. Eventually, the idea is that the farmers will be able to access premium markets, improved price realization, and reduce rejection rate through this traceability platform.
This is really encouraging to know, even though there are solutions by the private companies to provide traceability to some food items, but having a statewide DPI which everybody can use is really going to reduce the entry barriers even for the smallholder farmers. Now, another thing I saw in your policy which looks very encouraging is that, you know, creating this entire ecosystem requires lots of solutions providers, onboarding the startups, bringing in academic institutions, encouraging research, etc. I see that you have a huge innovation fund which is being earmarked for supporting these kinds of activities. Can you tell us how this innovation fund will function? Would you be running hackathons? Would you be inviting startups to showcase their solutions or support them financially? And what kind of partnerships from the industry, the investors community do you envisage in the near future?
So the Maharashtra Agri AI policy indeed places a very strong emphasis on supporting innovation and digital solution providers, recognizing that a vibrant ecosystem of startup as well as agri-tech companies is really crucial for agriculture transformation in the state. And in practical terms, the government will encourage and support these agri-tech innovations through a multifaceted approach. We, as you rightly pointed out, we plan to launch innovation challenges and hackathon. There will be incubation support and grants, sandbox environment, as we already said about through edX, and differentiated support and scaling opportunity depending on what kind of maturity these solutions are. And eventually, to ensure these solutions stay farmer centric, the policy will also have a crucial element of farmer centric design and adoption. So eventually, it has to be farmer centric, farm based. And we also think there are a lot of innovations happening at the level of farmers and FPOs. So we consider farmers as co-creators of knowledge. The policy also explicitly states that the aim is to ensure farmers are co-creators in AI solution designed by enabling participatory and model development. So the feedback loops, the ground truthing experiments, etc., which will flow through this ecosystem and will help us information, education, communication to across the sector. And eventually community engagement and participatory innovation will institutionalize stakeholder engagement and forum involving farmers, researchers, universities, agri-tech firms and civil society to gather feedback and co-design use cases. So that's the whole idea, to bring together all these players in this startup and innovation ecosystem.
That's very interesting. Just a supplementary question. Can only the startups apply for this fund, or even the established players who might have innovative solutions implemented in other parts of the world, can they also avail the benefits of the innovation fund?
I think it's really important, as Maharashtra also has been really a test bed for innovations. There are many startup and companies who have been trying their solution for various crops like grape, banana, pomegranate, etc. And there are a lot of technologies which are being used. So some of these technologies have been tested and ready for deployment. So we plan to support them by infusing capital, by infusing support, and ensure that it reaches the farmers. So yes, the let's say proven cases will immediately be scaled up, and startups will be given support and mentoring so that they ultimately reach to the commercial stage.
This is really encouraging, nurturing an entire ecosystem, including all kind of players, startups, established companies, research institutions, international players, can really help in transforming the agriculture practices in the state. Now, one of the things which is being often talked about is the capacity, both the capacity, delivery capacity of the government organizations, your extension workers, your officers, since you're talking about AI based tools, and as well as the absorptive capacity of the farmers or farming community who would be using these tools. The policy talks about a dedicated capacity building drive across the states, both at the supply side as well as the demand side. Can you tell us a little bit more about how this entire campaign will be carried out?
Yes, I think it's really important to understand the scale of the adoption. So we have more than 17 million farmers, more than 10,000 FPOs, more than 13,000 field workers in the field from agriculture department. Now, when we have a policy like that, which will have an edX, which will have a traceability system, geospatial engine, and will have lot of private sector involvement through their startup, eventually it has to be accepted, adopted and implemented by the farmers and supported by our field machinery. So, I think the building institutional capacity, community collaboration and last mile adoption is really important for eventual use. And to ensure this, the farmers, the extension farmer officers, local communities, they have to be ready to enhance and embrace AI driven tools. And what we need to do is upskilling the agriculture department workforce. So, foundational AI literacy, use cases specific modules, leadership track for mid and senior level officers. Similarly, for farmers and FPOs, we are planning to design hands-on usage of AI tools for crop planning, disease detection, input optimization, market access. So, there will be various kind of modules for them to learn and use this, and delivery will be done through a district level AI champions. We want to have field demonstrations, multilingual digital content. Vistar of course will be an important part of it, and pharma help desk to ensure sustained adoption. So, the personalized support and training will be helpful in institutionalizing and reinforcing the learning. We want to invest in enhancing AI capability across SAUs, state agriculture universities, technical institution, research partners, because they are very, very important for adoption of this policy. And eventually policy will institutionalize stakeholder engagement involving farmers, researcher, agri-tech firms, civil society, and this will help them in gathering feedback, co-design use cases and address barriers to adoption. So, we will eventually be able to find out what is not working and try to find a solution for that. And farmers will also be represented in advisory processes. They will be part and parcel for all the initiative, and eventually this will help in aligning with the real world field condition and cultural context of Maharashtra. So, this will be really crucial in ensuring solutions are farmer centric and they gain acceptance. Now, regarding maintaining farmers trust and addressing concern like data privacy or fear of too much technology, too many applications, etc., we want to ensure that there is an ethical, responsible and secure AI deployment. Data privacy regulations are ensured at every stage. Consent driven data exchange like Jan Samarth and AgriStack, and there is a participatory model development. Eventually, this will be implemented in phase, and we will keep on learning, we will keep on devising and evolving as we go along. Finally, a multi-level collaborative and capacity building ecosystem will emerge, which will help its adoption.
It's great to learn that the government is so actively thinking about not only creating capacity but also building trust in the services which are being provided by the government. Another interesting thing about the policy which I saw, and I think which is again path breaking, is that you're not only trying to take a leadership position within the country and in the region by having a dedicated AI policy. The government seems to be equally open to learning about good practices in other countries and also collaborating with not only industry but also with multilateral institutes and investors. So the pillar about having this global AI summit, AI conference and investors summit looks very interesting, especially from the point of view of the fact that Maharashtra has already taken a leadership position in having a dedicated AI policy. So, what is it that you want to achieve through this global investors summit, and what kind of partners would you want to have ideally who come and participate in this, both from within the country and from across the world?
So, what I think it's really important for us to open up the possibilities for our farmers that exist globally. So, this is indeed a bold step designed to position Maharashtra as a global nucleus for AI driven agriculture innovation, and the core vision is basically to elevate Maharashtra as a global leader in AI driven agriculture and emerging technology solutions, and also to ensure that the private investors, public investors, they see Maharashtra as an important destination in agriculture sector. So, this summit and global conference will catalyze partnership, promote knowledge exchange, mobilize both domestic and international capital into the state's agri-tech ecosystem. The intention is to bring global experts, companies, investors to connect with our local ecosystem, and local I said not only Maharashtra but entire country. And the conference will convene a diverse cross section of stakeholders, which will have global thought leaders, frontier technology firms, venture capitalists, multilateral agencies, state delegations from the country, policy think tank, and of course farmer producer organizations. So, we believe it will indeed be a significant platform for our startup and farmers to showcase innovation, forge partnership, and also engaging in strategic dialogue, policy roundtable, pitch session, product showcase, and field demonstration. We plan to hold it across the state as we go along at different locations every year, and to ensure that we are able to showcase Maharashtra's progress and leadership, providing a global stage for innovators, facilitate stakeholder interactions, and attracting global investment, which is really important. Benchmarking progress and defining investment roadmap. So, what we plan to do in the next 1 or 2 years, and knowledge exchange and best practices. So, the event we planning to hold in Mumbai in February or March 26 during that period, and we would invite all the experts, the thinkers, policy thinkers, as well as various companies, academic institutions to take part. This will be a unique opportunity for all of you to really come here, discuss, see for yourself, contribute, learn, and make partnerships. We want this to be a powerful catalyst for growth, bringing together all the components which are capital, expertise, innovative solution, eventually to accelerate Maharashtra's journey towards AI driven agriculture transformation.
This seems from whatever you have described that Maharashtra is really not only taking the leadership position within the country, but as you rightly said, aiming to become the global nucleus for any transformation in agriculture. And all the pillars look to be very transformative, very bold steps. But before we wrap up this discussion, I want to know from you that when 2029 comes, which is the period you have described for this policy 2025 to 2029, what all do you think or aspire to have achieved by then, and how would you take it forward beyond 2029, because transforming agriculture is not just a small time duration initiative, but requires foresight for at least 2 decades maybe.
Yeah, I think it's really important to not only think up to 29 but beyond as well, and what happens till 2029. So, in 29 when the policy concludes its initial 5-year period, the success will be multifaceted, encompassing both tangible as well as measurable outcomes and some intangible as well. What we believe there will be enhanced productivity and yield in the farmer field, of course resulting into higher farmer incomes and widespread adoption of AI solutions, and which will result in a thriving agri-tech ecosystem where a lot of startup and innovators would be attracted, and this will create a robust ecosystem of AI research, data exchange, startup incubation, digital skilling. So, this is what we feel should happen till 2029. We will continue to revisit the policy because the changes in artificial intelligence are really very quick. The center that we are setting up in universities, they will also be a flourishing hub, actively innovating, incubating new ideas, novel ideas, and scaling proven solutions. We also expect there will be a large number of successful agri-tech startup and companies originating in Maharashtra, and also demonstrating their solutions throughout, not only in Maharashtra. We also expect there will be increased foreign and domestic investment in agri-tech ventures, which will be of course catalyzed by the pillars that we are designed in the policy, and will be held by the annual summit that we plan to do. It will also result in skilled human capital. So, farmers, the extension workers, the organizations will have more skilled capital, which will be able to use AI and emerging technologies, and eventually this will also result in enhanced climate resilience. It may not be measurable, but something which is really noticeable. It will also be an empowered farmers that might emerge out of it, and it will showcase, we believe, Maharashtra as a replicable model for sustainable and inclusive growth. So, in a nutshell, by 2029, if everything goes as we have planned and policy gets implemented properly, Maharashtra agriculture will be characterized by a dynamic, data-driven ecosystem where technology is not just an add-on, but an integral part of the farming, and eventually leading to visible and substantial improvement in livelihood and resilience to the farming community.
Thank you so much for this wonderful conversation. I wish you all the success, and I am sure that Maharashtra would not only do well for itself, but also show paths to so many other states and maybe the countries in global south. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you so much. We are really excited about implementing this policy, and we look forward to partner with all innovators, incubators, private capital, venture capitalists to come and partner with us, with our farming community, and ensure that the agriculture transformation takes place in Maharashtra.
The Investor Summit seems to be a really good idea to take your innovative policy and its results to the world, as well as learn from other countries. But before we conclude, this one thing I was curious about. We have seen most of the policy initiatives where these kinds of pillars which you have require lots of investment, but in many places you have policies without the budget allocated to it, not enough fund available to immediately invest. So I was just wanting to know if the government of Maharashtra have enough money allocated to implement all these pillars which you mentioned in the policy.
Yeah, I think it's really important, and I would like to give a brief background to this. So, for the last let's say around 15 years, the government of Maharashtra has had multilateral projects with the World Bank, with the ADB, with the IFED. So, projects like MECP, POCRA phase 1, now POCRA phase 2, SMART, Magnet. All these projects combined are more than $2 billion if you see in the last 10 to 15 years. And at least 3 of these projects are currently ongoing. Apart from that, Specifically for this policy, the government of Maharashtra has set aside 500 crores worth of money, which is let's say around $70 million. And recently, the government of Maharashtra, considering that there is a need for public investment in farming sector, has set aside every year around $700 million only for investment in public sector. So there is a lot of commitment from the government of Maharashtra in terms of funds. But what we are also looking forward is the partnership of private sector. So there is an enabling environment. There are public investments already being done, but we would like private investment also to come, leverage the pillars of the policy and make investments in Maharashtra, so that the public and private investment together will transform the agriculture sector.
So you talked about the private investors and partnerships with private industry. Would you be willing to tell us if you already have some of these global players signing up some kind of technology partnership MOUs with the government?
So there are multiple organizations which are working with the state in agriculture as well as other sectors. So Bill Melinda Gates Foundation is one, World Economic Forum is supporting us, Vadhvani Foundation, Vadhvani AI and Vadhvani Foundation both are working with us. Organizations like World Bank, as I said, ADB, Global Climate Fund. So we have been working with them closely. UNDP is supporting us. So what we feel that there is a interest of all these global organizations in Maharashtra. They have had some experience working with us, and in formulation of the policy itself, we took their initiative, took their inputs and support and suggestions from them. So the policy that has come out is a reflection of our shared partnership with them, and we look forward to working with them and other players in future.
Thank you so much for this wonderful conversation. It seems that Maharashtra is on a path to become not only a leader within the country, but also an example for other states and the countries in Global South. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you so much. We are really excited to implement the policy, and we truly believe that the policy will create a framework which will attract a lot of startup, innovators, thinkers, private capital firms, and basically our farming community to adopt AI and agri-tech solutions, and eventually leading to a transformation in agriculture sector in Maharashtra.
Thank you so much.